Hi, this is Don Romans with FurnaceFilterTalk.com, and today I'm going to bring you a video on the MERV 11 AIRx furnace filter. And I'm going to use my 30 years plus of experience of making air filters to review this and tell you whether it's a good filter or a good fit for you. And so let's just jump right in. Let's just cut right to the chase. This filter is a great filter. I highly recommend it. MERV 11 is a good efficiency to use, especially if you have any light allergies, things like that. And so this filter there's no negatives to it, so I would highly recommend it. AIRx is made by a company called National Trade Supply that's in Greenwood, Indiana, so it's American made. So if that's important to you, you can't go wrong there. They sell their filters through two locations, through discountfilters.com and also through amazon.com. So, if you want to buy this filter from Amazon, you know what Amazon's like, so you know you're going to get good service, quick delivery. It's free shipping, but it's free shipping also from Discount Filters. So the one advantage of Discount Filters is if you have an odd size, is that you have unlimited sizes that you can get on there where you can't on Amazon. And also through Discount Filters you can buy anywhere increments of 1 all the way up through 12 per box. So obviously the higher the quantity you buy, the lower the cost. The cost looks to me to be the same on Amazon and on Discount Filters, but the difference being that on Amazon generally it's 6 per box. So you don't have the choices that you would ordering direct from Discount Filters. Now I bought, because I have an 18 by 18 by 1 in my system, and so it's a little bit of an odd size and I couldn't get it on Amazon, so I bought it direct from Discount Filters. And I got to tell you, the experience of buying from them is every bit as good as buying from Amazon. The shipping was fast. Everything was, was perfect. Communication, you get emails back. You placed your order, tracking numbers, all that kind of stuff. They shipped using FedEx, and so it was delivered really quickly, and it was basically the same as Amazon. I would not say Amazon has any advantage to Discount Filters, whether you buy from one or the other. But if you need like a different quantity, like in my case, I don't normally use a MERV 11. I normally use a MERV 5 filter in my system because I don't have allergies or anything like that. So I just bought this filter for review purposes, and so I just bought one. So I paid a premium price because I only bought one. But it saved me from having to buy 6 filters that I really wouldn't use over a long time. So pricing wise, I paid from Discount Filters $18.47 for one filter, but if you buy a quantity of 6, which is pretty common, that's what Amazon usually sells things under, so it would be $10.97 per filter, if you buy 6 of them. So the packaging, and I'll show you pictures on here, but I'll add to the video, but you'll see that it comes in a perfectly contained box, cardboard box, labeled with their name on it. And since it was just one filter, there was bubble wrap inside the box to help protect the filter. So the packaging was great, no complaints there. The construction of the filter, it's the typical filter, a pleated filter that has the V design and the wire backing, the steel wire backing for support on the downstream side. And that V, I know I've said this in other videos, but what that V does, the V allows for the airflow to go through the filter easily, and the V also allows them to put more square footage of media inside the frame of the filter. So, V filter is far superior to like the fiberglass filters that, people used to use years ago. And I just bought a new system a few months ago, and mine came with a fiberglass filter in it, so they still put those in there in the factories. But I switched it out to a pleated filter. Now what does this filter actually collect? Well, that's really the bottom line, is what does it do for you? Well, it filters out lint, dust, dust mites, pollen, mold, pet dander, and smog. So it does everything that you could want done. The only thing higher is like a MERV 13, and that's going to get like, if you're in a severe polluted area, you might want that. Or if you have severe allergies or COPD or something, you might want to go to a 13. But now what the thing you got to watch for is the resistance to the airflow. Every filter creates resistance to the airflow, no matter what it is. It's just a matter to what degree. So like the MERV 5 that I typically use, it puts very little resistance to the airflow. Now this filter, their literature says that it should be a 0.17 inches of water column. That's how you measure the resistance on airflow. And when I tested this, I have the ability to test them, and it was 0.23, 0.24, which is really more like a MERV 13. So it did make me question whether they had put the wrong media in this filter, which could happen because, as somebody who's made filters for years, if they're not careful, when you switch out, you're making, the MERV 11s, and then you're going to switch to making MERV 13s or vice versa. And, all the filter medias usually are white. So unless they control that and label everything appropriately, it could be an easy mistake to happen. But this tested out, I know from experience, I've tested their MERV 13 and other MERV 13 filters, and that's what they typically test out, is around 0.23, 0.24 for a new filter. And, that's what this one tested out. So that's a little on the high side, but it's okay for me. Like, as I recommend that you change your filter every month, especially when you're using a higher MERV rated filter, because the reason is you don't want your resistance to the airflow to become very high. So you're starting out almost at 50% of your system's capacity with a brand new filter, because your system's capacity generally for residential is 0.5 inches of water column. And so you don't really want to risk running it too high, because it'll cause things like high energy bills, or even worse, you could damage your system. And you sure don't want that, because that could obviously get very, very expensive. So, if you want to use this filter, you're perfectly fine to use it. Just change it every month. But I'm going to tell you that same thing no matter what filter you use. I use a MERV 5, but I change it every month. But I use the MERV 5 because it's cheaper. It's a lot cheaper. And so I can just change it every month. And, it does fine. But if you have allergies, you're going to need something at the higher MERV rated. So this filter is going to be perfect for you, if you have allergies. If you want to look at some alternatives, Nordic Pure makes a great filter, almost identical to this filter. These companies use, when they make filters, a lot of the frame suppliers are furnishing all the filter companies' frames. And so their filter looks almost identical to a Nordic Pure filter, but Nordic Pure and AIRx are two totally different companies. AIRx is in Indiana, like I mentioned. Nordic Pure is in Texas. But you can also buy from 3M, and both Nordic Pure and 3M are on Amazon, so you can buy, from them. But I think Nordic Pure is competitive in price with the AIRx, but they're both going to be less costly than the 3M. 3M is generally a higher priced filter. So my conclusion is that, this filter is a very good filter. I highly recommend it if you have allergies. If you don't have allergies, or you don't have pets, then you don't need this filter. So you can drop down to something like a MERV 7 or 8, or even a MERV 5 like I use. So any of those would be fine. But if you want to buy directly from discount filters and get the AIRx direct from them versus from Amazon, I think you should feel perfectly fine doing that. You're going to find that your experience of buying the filter is just as good as buying it from Amazon. So, feel free. And if you have any questions, please leave me comments. I'd love to hear them, and I will respond to everybody that sends a comment. And please like and subscribe, because it helps me promote this channel. But again, AIRx MERV 11, good filter, and you should feel good about buying that filter. All right, thank you, and I'll see you next time.